Welcome to a new edition of Two-Year-Olds in Training for the Harness Edge. I'm Harold Howe. We're here with Bob Young at First Line Training Center. And Bob, you brought out 4 two-year-olds for us, but before we go with them, you've got an interesting visitor in your barn, a National Debt, who has to be one of the more intriguing horses right at the moment. Having won the Gilmore Memorial, the Meadowlands, really impressed some people. A third of them got sold to Jerry Silva. There's just a lot of aura around him, and he's here with you, waiting for the Diplomat. You've been you've had a chance to see him from the time he was bought as a yearling by Blair Corbeil and Kelly Hort, and you told me you liked him then. You've had him for a number of days now. Do you like him better now?
Well, he was a very nice yearling. He came off the van. Blair bought 5 or 6 that year, and they came here first, and before they went to Edmonton. And when he stepped off the van, he had some presence about himself. He was a nice-looking yearling, and I told Blair that. And then, you see him race last fall out west, and they were really high on him. And they sent him to Ronnie Coyne, a friend of mine who has horses with Blair also. And Ronnie liked him. He said he's not really a great trainer, but he said you never know he's in the barn. And that's the way he is here. He's a real gentleman. You never know he's in the barn. He looks after himself well. He's very easy on himself. We took him to Woodbine on Saturday night. Sylvain Fillion's got the contract to drive him in the Diplomat up here, and he trained him a mile. Sylvain got off, really liked the horse. And so we're going to go back this week in school and then qualify the next week and then go to the Diplomat.
I mean, you can see from the video here, he's a lovely bodied horse. And so mechanically, do you like what you see?
Yes, I do. He just, everything is right. He just gets over the ground easy. He stands good. He wears a pair of shin boots for protection. But no, he's a very nice horse. Open bridle, and I think we were going to put the cups on him to race. That's what Ron did. So, but just mechanically, just a really nice horse.
So with his physique, with his good mechanical ability, good attitude, if he was a human, the Leafs would be knocking on the door.
I would hope they would never get a chance to have him. He's too good to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Let's talk two-year-olds here. We're going to, the first set, Beyonce's Rockin', a rock and roll heaven, 42,000 out of Harrisburg. Looked like she loved to get up this morning.
She's a filly that I've wore a hood on her since I've got her. Monday mornings she's really full of herself. A filly that's probably doubled in size since I bought her in Harrisburg. She's a big, strong filly now. Very nice filly. The good thing about her maybe is I found out after I'd bought her she's eligible to the Quebec Sire Stakes. So if there's another place to go race anyway if we have to. But nice big filly. Been in 230 with her. Going to start 2 trips with her near the end of this month. Her knees were open in December when I fluoroscoped her. Took her back last week. They're still not quite closed, so we'll wait the end of this month before we start 2 trips.
Now we've got a colt. A lot of people will be curious about a rock and roll Hanover out of Art Imitates Life, which means she's a homebred, yes. Or he's a homebred. Mitt Jagger.
Mitt Jagger, yeah, very nice colt. Has really changed a lot in the last month and a half. He's starting to look like a stud horse now. His neck's coming in. He's identical to the mare in size. He's very long, well built. She wasn't the great gaited in January or February herself. He was the same. But now March and April's come along, he's starting to find his gait a lot better. Great attitude. Thank goodness he doesn't have some of that rock and roll sourness in him. He really, whatever you want to do, he does, and you just talk to him and he changes gears. So I really like him.
Good stuff. Then we've got a $10,000 purchase out of Lexington, Wicked Speed, a Mach 3 filly.
Marcia Sugarman liked her on video, and so I phoned Sean Stacy. He was in Lexington. I said, Sean, go look at that filly. I said, if we like her, I'm going to get you to bid on her. He said, Bob, she's not a big filly, but she stands good. I said, okay, fine. So I told him the price to go to. He didn't. He did. We had more room to go. Got her home. Wasn't a big filly, but stood good. And she's been growing all winter. She's very good gaited, as you see today. Great attitude. Not too crazy like some of the Mach 3s, but she feels good. And as we train her down, she's been in 232 also. And just a nice filly and improving every week, and she's filling out and growing all the time. She won't start early.
Right. And if she's a throwaway, it's Sean's fault.
Yeah, exactly. You got to blame somebody.
Okay, RV Hanover, a Some Beach Somewhere filly, 60,000 out of Harrisburg.
Went to Harrisburg last year. Wasn't planning on buying a Some Beach. Blair came around. He said, "Have you looked at any beach fillies?" I said, "A few." He said, "Well, let's go look at some." He said, "If we can try and maybe buy one." And I'd seen some at Hanover when we went down to look at yearlings and that. And this filly was there. She stood good. A good size filly, as you can tell, and does everything right. not crazy, not lazy, but a smart filly. Doesn't like her tongue tie. She still hasn't got over wearing that yet. Out the barn someday she wants to put on a bit of a show, but big, strong filly and does it right. You know, for a filly that's her size, she doesn't hit the ground hard. That's what I like about her.
Hasn't been a kind winter.
It's been a horrible winter, you know. It's just, I don't know if I'm behind. I would say I am. A lot of people are, but then you watch some of your other interviews, and I think guys are too fast. So we'll all know when we go to Harrisburg next fall whether the winter was the right or wrong.
Or whether it made any
Exactly,
difference.
exactly. You know, because they'll have money on their card or they won't.
That's right. Bob, thanks for your thoughts, and good luck. Maybe we'll get spring sometime.
Okay, thank you, Harold.
Harold Howe with Bob Young, 2-year-olds in training.